Picture that you see right there is Mr. Ross Bagdasarian. This is the first album that he did called The Music of David Seville. It's on Liberty Records, and before I begin, I'm going to tell you this is all my chipmunk stuff. I've had it put on CD because I don't want to mess the albums up. So this is The Music of David Seville. It's got a lot of interesting tracks on it. And I've also got The Witch Doctor, which is actually a good album too. This particular album, CD, I bought off of eBay, and you can't get it anymore. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but it actually recreates the original Chipmunk albums, record albums. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. This is the original Let's All Sing with the Chipmunks. This is the one that I've got that the lady at Liberty Records that I talked to that had been there since day one told me, Mark, you keep everything because whoever owns the rights now are not going to release it. This actual copy is the one that the matrix number doesn't match anything that Liberty had. And this lady told me because I told her the number that I have on the matrix number I have on my red vinyl record. And she said, it doesn't match anything we have. So I don't know what you have. That's what she told me. Now to continue, I've got Let's All Sing with the Chipmunks, which has all the original 12 songs when they were actually doing sing-alongs. Then you have Sing Again with the Chipmunks. Sorry about the glare, guys. I'm trying to make it where you can see it all. This is the revised version of the album. It, too, has sing-along songs. And this is really when they were just getting started. But they were actually themselves. Then you have Around the World with the Chipmunks. This is a neat album too because it's a conception album. He took an idea of just going all around the world and for every country there would be a song. Then this Chipmunk Songbook was next. Can't believe it. The fourth album. This is another set of sing-alongs. It's got the Alvin twist on it. And their version of Get Along Little Dogies. This is the original mono album of it. And the stereo version. Had to put that on CD. Next, you've got the Alvin Show that was on from 1961 to 62. And then it went into syndication for 3 years. Then, of course, you've got the all-famous Christmas with the Chipmunks, Volume 1 and 2. And the funny thing about this particular album, all these CDs I'm showing you, this especially, when they were actually re-released, it was only because there was demand for it. How I wish there was a demand for them again. This album in particular is one the Beatles actually got a copy of this, each one of the four guys, because Mr. Bagdasarian met them, got their permission to record an album of their early work, from Please Please Me to A Hard Day's Night. And they actually sent him back autographs and little souvenirs. And yes, they did actually get each guy, Ringo, John, Paul, George, each got an album of this. And this is what also saved Liberty Records for the third time. Mr. Bagdasarian saved Liberty Records 6 times. Then, sorry, I'm showing my cabinet, I don't mean to. This album, he didn't have anything to do with. The guys at Liberty wanted another rock and roll album, and he didn't want to do it. He was working on the next album, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this album flopped because Mr. Bagdasarian didn't have anything to do with it. And the guys at Liberty, there were some people that just went ahead and did it without any response from Mr. Bagdasarian, except he gave them his blessing. This album flopped. This album, though, Sing with Children, went to number 1. Well, almost number 1 on the charts because it was so good. It's with the Jimmy Joyce Children's Choir. I like this album real well. Then Mr. Bagdasarian went back to his own music. And this has just basically got a lot of things that had been released before, but it went on an LP because he was trying to boost his own career. And yes, it's on Liberty. Then, the last things, At the Movies and Dr. Dolittle. The last 2 albums that were done. Mind you, I'm only doing the original 12 albums because that's the original things that he did. And then this is the last thing that was done. Go to the Movies. It was a conception album too. Just songs that came from hit movies at the time. I have a confession to make too. Most of these things were recorded from my own personal records, but a lot of them also were purchased because of the fact I accidentally found them either at Walmart or on eBay. Hands up. One other thing before I go. You can have any kind of music you want to, but the way I feel, everybody's important, especially Mr. Bagdasarian, because without him, we wouldn't even have the Chipmunks.